ado, let's go ahead and get started with the show, as I'm excited to talk to you guys about everything that has been going on. Oh, let me turn off that poll. I still got that poll from earlier this week. All right, there we go. And so let me get this chat box up here and ready to go. If you guys hear an echo, please let me I think I know why. Give me a second. There we go. I think it's on blast or something. Bam, guys, what's going on? It's been a very interesting week by far. We did successfully have this 9950X 3D2 build put together. We had the ASRock B850 motherboard rocking with it. It was quite an interesting build, I have to say, especially for those who are curious about pretty much pairing a combination like that. It's definitely doable. It still works. The BIOS was originally on 4.06, and I didn't really have any issues with the boot, luckily. I did attempt to do a full flashback and to make sure that the BIOS was up to date, and unfortunately that seemed that it did not work just as well as I would hope for. So everybody, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. For everybody that is watching through TikTok, I usually stream through Twitch and onto YouTube if you're curious on seeing on a more wider format. So there has been some interesting news coming out, especially about Microsoft. I think it was time for Microsoft to finally step it up. There's going to be new Windows. There's going to be kind of like a new version. It's called known as Microsoft K2, which we will certainly get into a little bit. Definitely would love to hear everybody's thoughts about the upcoming K2. I think honestly it's one of the great ideas for them to do something like this, because in order for them about to buy an X3D2, I get it. I definitely get it, LSG. Especially because it's I think it started off on the wrong foot. I think a lot of the controversy, as we spoke about last week, happened with the 9950X 3D2 is because mostly there was a lot of upset influencers out there that were not able to get a sample. Was it an overreaction? Maybe. I would love to know everybody's thoughts on it. If you feel this is kind of AMD preventing other influencers from getting samples in order to test out the 9950X 3D2. I mean, it is a very expensive CPU, especially for practically just being a second version of a 9950X 3D2, as it has the dual V cache. So Bob Barkinson says, it's funny how I switched to Catchy OS because F Microsoft, but then I switched from Proxmox to Windows Server 22 because I need something that works. And I think a lot of people can certainly agree when it comes to Windows that it just doesn't work as fluid as they would want to. You want to be able to do your task as you're supposed to, but instead you're unable to complete your task, and I'll tell you the exact reason why. Reason being is because you get bombarded with ads. You're unable to do anything that you would like to personally do on your PC because you get ads after ads after ads, and it's just nonstop from Copilot, from OneDrive, and it's just consistent Microsoft Windows just compiling on top of each other. And years, it's just hasn't improved, and until one day they decided, hey, what about K2? And maybe they hear a lot of talk about this. So Bob Arkinson says, what's up, Steve? Glad to see you here. Hello, I'm at Coffee Hour with Friends. What's up, everybody on TikTok? What's up, Leanne? What's up, Brian? Right now I'm on Twitch and YouTube if you want to see it onto a larger display. So Bob Barkinson says, I'm also interested in buying the 9950X 3D2, but due to vacation purchases, I can't afford it right now. I get it. It's expensive. I looked at my bill. It's much more expensive than I would want it to be. So I'm definitely got to watch my budget for the upcoming months when it comes to building PCs. Hence, we did manage to do 2 PC builds back to back. I'm still in the middle of testing out the 9950 3D X3D2, it's such a long title, in order to see if it's much more of an improvement. I'm really more curious about how the IPC responds, how the scheduler responds, and if it's quite an improvement compared to what it originally was, because there was a lot of issues for everyone that has X3D chips. They all know sometimes there is scheduling issues. So if you go into a game and you're able to say Battlefield 6 was a good example, at times it would go and park the wrong cores. It would end up parking the V cache instead of actually parking the non V cache. So it was using CCD. It was, what was it, 8 to 16 instead. That instead of using the 0 to what's it, 0 and 8, instead of using 0 to 8, which is the first cache where the V cache is, it ended up jumping to the non V cache. So I had to manually set it through process lasso a few times for it to actually pick up on it. So what's up, Jamal? Hey, Chris, what's up? Any RAM price drops? Yes, there has been some positivity. What's up, Base? I do see you came in here. I may be a PC guy. We will take a look. RAM pricing seems to be pretty steady for the most part. It seems like there has been some sort of stagnation when it comes to RAM. It's certainly getting better in a sense, but let's hope that it will continue to readjust. I think RAM pricing is getting better. It's the other PC hardware I'm certainly worried about. So Bob says, I may be a PC guy, but I'm a weeb first. Trip to Japan is more important than a computer processor. I agree. It's always a good time in Japan. Have you been to Japan before, Bob, or is this your first trip going? Steve says, I will be doing the SRT 4500 build with a 32 gigabytes of DDR4 and the 5060 Ti 16 gigabytes. Interesting. That's a very interesting combination. For testing too, for the 9950, if anybody is curious about any specific games, please let me know. I will run it to the benchmarks. And if you're interested even in games like Pragmata, I'm thinking about actually purchasing it to compare it pretty much with the 5070 Ti and the 9070 XT, compare it with the two different processors to see how they respond. We do have the Intel 270K Plus, and we also do have the 9950 X3D2, and we could really compare the two to see how the processor will respond to it. We will also check the internal GPU inside of these processors to see how well they respond. Just out of curiosity, I know most people aren't going to do it. If you are using the internal GPU, I'm assuming you're using it temporarily till you get yourself a GPU, because that would be more ideal. But let's go ahead and take a look at what I want to show you guys, especially with Windows K2. It's a bit of exciting news. Now, with Windows K2, that poll's up again. I apologize. I will put up a poll in a bit, though. Certainly can expect it. So let me get this straightened out here as I get the browsing tab open here. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. So this is what I'm going to show you guys. Ed interrupted me. I went around Japan. That's okay. What's up, South Star? It's been interesting. Very interesting, South Star. So, Ed interrupted me. Thank you for the wonderful donation, Chartard. I will get back to you, Bob. Let me just answer Chartard. Thank you for the super chat. Do you think the 9600X is a good enough gaming and productivity until? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's great. The 9700X, if you're planning to get Zen 6 anyway, to be honest, for anyone that is planning to ball on a budget, so to say, you don't have to get the 9700X. Sure, it can be a bit better. It has 2 extra cores in there, but the 9600X will satisfy your needs. I've tested quite a few games on the 9600X combined with the 9070X2 and a 9070 XT, not X2, XT. And it works phenomenal, works great, even in modern games. I've tested it on games like Black Myth Wukong. It played great on Doom Dark Ages. It also played great on a lot of modern titles. Cyberpunk also worked awesome, and this was on a 1440p resolution. So it's certainly doable. You can go ahead and be satisfied with the purchase of a 9600X. More than likely, we probably won't see a new processor from AMD for a little while. I don't think we're going to see Zen 6 maybe until beginning of next year. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like during CS 2027. It's going to be a little time. They might give you hints. They might give you a little sneak peek like towards November, maybe, if we're lucky. Nvidia, it's hard for me to imagine them push another GPU. I feel like that's going to end up being delayed on top of it. But to talk about Bob here, Ad interrupted me. I went to Japan around March 2025 for 10 days, and I loved it. I don't think my wallet agreed with all this stuff. I get it. It's so easy to spend, especially when you're in a place like Japan. If you love to get your collectibles, they have literally everything. There's one borough I always like to go to, or one district. It's over in Akihabara, and that's where you can actually get like a lot of you can get a lot of great things. They're like underground shopping malls for collectibles, and you don't spend nearly as much as the big box stores when you do purchase any of the collectibles in Japan. So personally, I think that's a great way to go. Japan's well known for shopping. So Bob says, so now I plan to go for 2 weeks. Congratulations, man. Have a lot of fun. Take a lot of pictures. Definitely share it with us, man. So Tard says, so the 9600X won't be, yes, 100%, won't be a bottleneck. There's very, very few instances where you would face it, and those are going to be like really like Unreal Engine 5, where it requires like some sort of ray tracing. You can see it, but again, you can adjust your settings accordingly, especially if you're going to end up swapping out the CPU anyway. And the CPU is not going to be as important to the GPU. You want more of the bottleneck coming from the GPU more than anything. And with modern gaming systems such as the 9070 XT and and the 9600, you will do perfectly fine. So Big and Tattooed says, I just got 87800X 3Ds for 145. Oh man, that's awesome. That's actually a really good deal. Man, there's a good chance that the new BLLC, yes, I am really curious about that. I'm excited for that. Tony, great to see you, bud. Great to see you. Welcome everybody. Welcome Lisa. Welcome in. Welcome user. Welcome to Path 13. Right now I'm streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm seeing, you can feel free to join into that stream if you'd like. So Bob Parkinson says, but anyway, we all need to know now is that NVIDIA is releasing a processor for everything. Yes. And I'm really curious to see what they will introduce then. Black, what's up? So good day. Just wanted to join in onto the conversation. I'm getting ready to build my new PC in a few days. And after ordering all my parts, would love some advice or some confirmation about things I was considering doing. Feel free to post your questions. We'll certainly love to answer. Hidden. Man, so I am bummed out. Your ASRock board is being difficult to update. ASRock is not known for... Yes, and I am pretty disappointed at that. That was actually the first time I've seen like a BIOS flashback actually fail on a ASRock board. Now I can't say I was surprised. I'm not like it's kind of expected, to be honest. It's a budget board, so I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper on it to see if there's any type of a switch on there, maybe onto the board that has to be on. It could be a weird quirk like that, but I believe it wasn't the USBs for sure. One was an 8GB USB 2.0. I made sure it was like one of those like real minimum USB drives. Named the drive to creative.rom, and it still did not work. It would just turn solid green every time. I've even used USB 3.2, which is, I feel like, a little much, especially 32 gigabytes of it going for a USB flashback, and that also didn't work. So I can say I was able to update the motherboard, but in order for me to do so, I had to start the PC. Luckily, it was able to boot because it's technically still Granite Ridge, since the 9950X3D is still in that line. So I was able to update it through that way. It is on the newest BIOS now. It's on a 4.20. Currently, it was at 4.06. And Nellis, great to see you. No, you didn't miss too much. Actually just started it. It's like, we're probably like about like 15 minutes in roughly. So Jamal says the Ultra 7 270K or Ultra 265 after you built your amazing build? Did you feel a big... Well, the 270K is quite impressive. Ground game, great to see you. Man, I'm glad to see all of you guys. The Ultra 7 270K is quite amazing. So if anyone is curious about switching over to, say, like a 270K and you're going from a 265K, it's quite a leap because you're pushing numbers that could outpace even to 285K, but for much less of a price. So if you have a 265K, it's a very good reason to switch over, especially the price you cannot beat. It's as low as $320 to $330 in order to get your hands on one. So I definitely would suggest. I'm impressed again with Intel, even though they haven't done anything too crazy just quite yet. I am excited to see what is in line coming up from Intel when it comes to their new BLLC, as we've all been talking about how they're going to have up to 52 cores with no hyper threading or no SMTs. Could you just imagine? That's like a workstation, but just without paying the workstation price. So Hidden Bull says, I use a tool that HP provides for the printer firmware. It works on everything FAT32. It's just called HP USB format tool. If you are worried, yeah, you know what? Let me give that a shot. I like that suggestion. If that works, I will give it a shot, Hidden Bull. Usually I just do the Windows. I usually go to the quick format tool on Windows when I do update the USBs. Of course, it's more than likely not the proper way. I know a lot of people, when they do use the USB flashback, they just prefer quick format because you want to update your BIOS as quick as you can, and nobody wants to wait to format your drive. But I do like that idea, Hidden Bull. Even Rufus is a good tool. I'm going to look into Rufus and trying that. I'm going to do a couple things and figure out what was going on. And once I figure it out, I'll certainly make a video on it. But I am impressed with their cooler. I really like it a lot. I like their Asus Phantom Gaming 360 AIO. I like how they make it very easy for a lot of people to install it, especially even if you're new to installing AIOs. The cutouts certainly help out a lot easier when you're using a longer screwdriver. So what's up, Joe Turco? What's up, Samuel? What's up, Nana? So for all you guys over on TikTok, if you're curious, I'm talking on YouTube and Twitch as well. You can feel free to check it out there. So Jamal says, man, I hope to get a 270K 57 Ti combo. Would be sweet. Absolutely. If you could get your hands on a combination like that, you'll be unbeatable. It's a wonderful combination, to be honest. So Black, there you go. So I wanted to go from the ATX form factor to short form factor. I currently have a Thermaltake P3. I want to try out the Lian Li Dan A3 case, but due to the massive GPU, a Gigabyte 4090 Arrow overclock 24 gigabyte 4 slot. Yeah, that is a massive card there. I changed my mind. Now I upgraded to the 6 of the case, the Corsair Tower 300 Mini, and keeping my current memory, CPU, RAM, and GPU. So basically a case and motherboard swap. What do I need to before swapping over to maintain all my data? Okay, so since you're swapping out your motherboard, the biggest thing I would highly suggest is just to back up your motherboard. Oh, is it pausing? Is the stream pausing, guys? I do apologize if it is. How's everybody? Is the stream working good for you guys? Let me know if it isn't. I would love to know. But anyway, to answer Black's question here, the main thing you want to do is you want to back up your drive. Now there is 2 options that you can use. Go on Amazon and you're going to purchase a tool for your M.2 drive, assuming that's what you have it on. If not, you can have like a SATA drive, like something like this. It's a USB tool, you plug it in, and then you can back it up into another internal drive. Now, what I would recommend to do is after you back it up, I still highly suggest, and I know Hidden Bull will certainly suggest this too, and for anyone that builds a PC, will certainly tell you it's best to reformat the drive, especially when it comes to hardware such as the motherboard. It would be a shock to your system. You're going to have some really weird issues. It'll still work. I mean, you can load it up if you want to. It'll still work fine. But the thing is, you're going to have these weird issues that come up. Like you're going to have weird errors or weird sleep issues, and it's all because it still has some of that cache from your original motherboard. So you want to back it up. Oh, good. I'm glad it's working. It could be the VPN. um, so I would highly suggest. Oh, it's pausing for you too, Tony. Maybe I got too much going on. So it's probably because I got the whole TikTok side and everything coming up. If it isn't working good, I could swap it over. Just let me know. Actually, you know what I could do, guys? Give me a second. Let me know if this helps it a bit. So I'm swapping over to stream. So I'm just putting it back onto data. There we go. What's up? What's up, Moha? So let me see. I'm waiting on to. Okay, so speaking of which, reformat the drive anyway. Do a clean installation of Windows. That's certainly the best way to go. But if you want to back up certain information, like backup like photos or anything like that, you can just copy it over pretty much. Um, but depending on the type of information you want to bring over, did that help, guys? Let me know. Okay, good. I'm glad it's working for you, Black. But that's what I would highly suggest. So Tony says, yeah, pauses and it come back, pauses. Yeah, I just tried to switch it over. Or is YouTube acting up? Because I notice, I can say this though. I notice on YouTube there isn't as much as the usual crowd. So it makes me wonder if it's a YouTube thing. How's the stream for you guys over on TikTok? Let me know. Would love to know. If the stream's okay, please let me know. And let everyone know, because if it's acting up, uh, I'll figure out what the problem is. So, do you think if you keep only one YouTube live instead of two, it might help a bit? Well, I actually, you know what I did? I hopped off the TikTok live off of the Wi-Fi, and now I'm using direct cellular data, so it shouldn't be affecting it now. But Tony's not having issues. Okay, so it's like a mix. You get a little mix. Okay, so for Tony, so it must be the Twitch side of things then. It must be YouTube just kind of tripping a little bit. So I upgraded a CPU in one. So I upgraded a CPU on one of my systems with no huge part changes, and even that was a huge headache with Windows. I certainly suggest yes. And that's the big thing. This is the thing I stress about mostly when it comes to new hardware. Do anytime when it comes to something major like a CPU or any really new hardware, it's best to do a clean install. And it'll just run so much better that way. So no issues with YouTube stream, all smooth here. Okay, so analysis is okay. Weenie says it's not doing it now. It is not pausing. Okay, so maybe it's because I hopped off of the TikTok stream off the Wi-Fi. So what's up, you everybody on TikTok over there? What's up, boats? So also, should I sell my 4090 and sell and get the 9070 XT? I know it's a downgrade, but I only paid $1,600 for the GPU, and now it's worth $3K. Should I downgrade and get more RAM? So my question for you, Black. Hey, Waffle Skater, great to see you. Congratulations on hitting your 20 stream streak. So Black, let me just say, if it depends on what type of gaming that you do. Do you play on a 4K display or do you play on a ultra wide? Yeah, that's crazy, right? I know Waffles like, what the hell? 4090's worth 3K now. So I know you guys over there are thinking that for sure too. I'm gonna try to refresh over here on YouTube. It's still happening for me, but not on Twitch. That's really interesting. I wonder why it's doing that. That is really interesting. So I'm going to talk about this real quick for everybody who is curious about it. But yes, please let me know. Let me know, Black, about how you game if you go on ultra wide or you prefer more of a 4K monitor or 1080p. It just depends on what your display is. So what does a budget? uh, Apparently, it looks just like what we have behind us. We have this Asus ROG. We just have this wonderful Helios case here, um, and it's a wonderful case. Large, it's massive compared to like what we put in there. Oh, it looks like it seems the YouTube stream's improvement has a improvement because I do see the spikes going up. So I'm assuming it was buffering a little bit on YouTube for some weird reason. I did see a buffer for about 0.5 seconds, so it is a legit compare. Okay, okay. Um, so so apparently it looks like what we just built, that whole ASRock B850 motherboard with the 9950 X3D2. Probably something a bit more like that. It is some people, I'll never spend that kind of money on a GPU. Hey, some people feel like it's worth it, weenie. So for me, a budget build consists of on-board graphics to start with and some door. Yeah, so imagine a budget workstation. Like, how would you go about a budget workstation? Evil, what's going on? What's up? What's up, Troubled Menace? What's up, Hector? I only say that because I game stream 4K. Ah, okay. So you have a 4K monitor. I mean, not 4K monitor. You have a 4090, but you have a 4K display. You have ultra wide. Um, so make music and do edit videos. So that's why. So if you're in that case, I would suggest, I highly suggest holding on to your RTX 4090. Reason why I say that is because you actually take advantage of some of the features that you can use when you do use content curation. So I would highly recommend holding on to the 4090 if that is the case. And it sounds like you are certainly one of the types to be willing to either that, or what you can do. This is your second option, Black. You sell your 4090 and you go, if you choose to downgrade, don't go for a 9070 XT. A 9070 XT is great. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome for what it does. Of course, it's much at a lower tier. But if you're looking to try to take advantage of 4K, then I would highly suggest getting like RTX 5080 if you choose to downgrade in that sense. Because if you can sell it for say 3,000, right? If you buy a 5080, you still have $1,500. So that would probably be the better option. So yeah. Oh, really? You got the 5K? Yeah. Then you hang on to it. And man, I am envious. How many people I know? Where's our guy at now? I know he has his 5K 2K LG pre-ordered here. But yeah, I'm really tempted to get it though. Super tempted. So Jabal says, it's the reality we live in, miss the days where you worked a month and you gotta work. It's crazy. It's like for you to get a decent meal, you gotta work at least a couple hours when you think about it. So like if say you work a standard hourly rate wage, and say you're making like I don't know, like 25 bucks an hour, you really think about it, you work 2 hours to make 50, but technically you don't get 50. And this is in the US specifically. You get taxed it, and really you come out like say with 30. That can only get you a single meal at this point because everything's so expensive now. So the 4090 has 3 encoders. I believe that is awesome. Yes, that's exactly the reason why I would suggest keeping it. That monitor is worth. Yes, it's worth some builds. What's funny, guys? Uh, yes, that's right, Southstar. Southstar was the one trying to get me to. I still have that browser tab up. I still didn't go through with it yet. But if I do, I think you're right. I wouldn't regret it though. I am highly tempted to go for it. Super tempted. I got. So speaking of which, you know what's funny? I'm going to put up a poll real quick, right? And this poll is going to be between the two builds. Now, some of you guys might be familiar with the build video. If you didn't see it, definitely go check it out. Would love for you guys to check out this 9950 X3D2. Let me know what you think of that build. And I'm going to pair it, say, next to the 270K. So, nevertheless, this is what the poll is going to be based on. So I'm going to make this poll. And let me go down to the poll here. As I got to ask you guys here, is which system, which PC do you think is more expensive? So that's going to be the poll. Maybe I can recalculate things because I am a bit curious, but I'm going to enable the poll for you guys, and you let me know which PC do you think is more, the 270K build, or do you think the 9950 X3D build is more expensive? Now, I will go over the specifications to just give you guys an idea for those who are just coming in and have no idea of what the specifications are. Now, the go for damn it, South Star. You're gonna make me dream about this thing, and I'm gonna wake up from my dreams and be like, damn, now I really want this thing. Because I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it in my dreams. It's gonna look glorious. And it's gonna make me feel like when I wake up, I'm gonna be like, I go back to this, I go back to a standard 1440 display. How can I? So yeah. So oh yeah, there you go. I apologize. Yes or no. So which PC do you let me rephrase that, guys? Let me fix that. AMD AMD build or the Intel build? That's funny. There we go. Now it's fixed. uh So Tony says every time I turn around, they come out with a new monitor. I know that's what I mean. You can never truly catch up when it comes to displays. It's really hard to keep up to date when it comes to displays. So if you are looking to get a display that you really like, if you like tandem OLED, take advantage of it. Get the tandem OLED display. Now you're gonna have people that's gonna want 5K, 2K. This is something I've been waiting for. So Hidden Bull says, do we use the price of RAM when you got it? How about that is a great question. Let's say let's say we use it at the current price. Like we priced out both PCs at current prices today. I'm AMD for sure. Okay. Interesting. It's going to be interesting. And I will announce it within like the next 2 minutes. So I see a lot of people did go for the whole AMD side. And I can understand exactly why. AMD. Yeah, so that's just if you want the best of both worlds, a great gaming machine and a great workstation, why not have both? Yes. Yes, exactly. And believe it or not, Intel's actually pretty good. RAM is too much right now. Buy in a bundle deal with the motherboard. Absolutely. Let me go to Micro Center, guys. After, you know what? Let me explain this too. I'm going to switch screens temporarily so that way we can talk about it. I like my Intel. Hey, Intel's awesome. Intel's like underrated right now. Intel's making some massive moves. I don't know if you guys heard, but they actually came out with a processor that's going to compete with the Apple. Uh, I want to say Apple Neo. Is it called the Apple Neo? It's strange the name, but it's practically like their. I guess I would call it the Apple Book, because it's like it's more or so like a Chromebook, but it's more like for like budget friendly type of laptop if you want to use it for like you want to use it just for browsing. So oh no, Micro Center, that sucks. That's frustrating. I remember when we didn't have Micro Center for like a few years actually. I was so relieved when they decided to announce to build a Micro Center in Miami. So Jamal says, what made me think is that the price of the CPU, and I think you used the Oris Master X870, they're just too expensive in my country. I get it. Yeah, so I will answer the poll now. So believe it or not, so the AMD build, so first everyone believes that the AMD build is the most expensive. So I totaled it out. It ended up about $2,900 after taxes, right? So that's after taxes. The Intel build actually priced out at like roughly about about $2,700. It's a little bit cheaper. So can you believe that the AMD actually still outpaced the AMD build? So you guys are correct who voted for AMD. The AMD was more expensive, even though it's using a like a cheaper GPU. I thought it was going to end up cheaper, but no, that's crazy. So yeah, you can't go wrong with Intel or AMD. I had both and I decided to switch from Intel back in 2020, as well as never look back from AMD. So awesome. It's like once you I always express this because this is important. When you do end up purchasing PC hardware, you always go with the side that is the best. So don't look at the brand, look at what is best. What I found interesting is that they did this test where they put DLSS on and they put FSR on. And people who actually looked at the graphics actually still picked DLSS uh, as the preferred winner. Of course, you do have some advantages that the RX 9070 XT cannot do. So I feel maybe the test, I can't say for sure. I can't say if it was unfair, like if there was some sort of ray tracing or path tracing advantage, because more than likely there probably is. You got to admit that. Like when it comes to NVIDIA, there always is going to be an advantage in that sense. It's just more expensive. There's a reason. It's because of thanks to the CUDA cores. So Weenie says, yes, I have Intel and it works great. Only reason why I chose AMD is if it was building the most powerful machine money can buy, but in the low end and mid range, it does not matter. So I noticed that Micro Center now has two. Oh, really? So they got the two. Oh, just to let everybody know, when it comes to Micro Center and the 270K bundles, for anyone that is interested in doing the 270K bundles, they actually come pre-installed, believe it or not. So if you're very nervous about installing a CPU on your board, these Intel 270K bundles actually come pre-installed. So they already come in the motherboard that way, which is pretty crazy. I actually talked to one of the guys at Micro Center, and he told me that's exactly how they come in. They come in with the CPU already installed on the motherboard. So that's great for anybody that wants to pretty much skip a step when building a PC. So I expected more of a gap. To be honest, it's crazy. Yeah, it's not that far of a gap. Intel gives you choice. They do. Especially when it comes to the LGA 1700 era was more of the ones where you had a bit more options there. So Weenie says, yeah, I'm on 12th generation on DDR4. I chose DDR4 motherboard because the RAM was cheaper, and this was back in 2021 or 2022. Yes, isn't it a great deal? Like, look at these prices. This is so. If anyone's to build a PC, I always say go for the bundle at Micro Center. Now, if you don't have a Micro Center near you, I would highly suggest looking onto Newegg's bundle as the next best thing. I mean, they even got Corsair bundles now, which is great for anyone that is looking for it. Take a look at this. You get a Corsair case, power supply, and a AIO for $260. I mean, that's really hard to beat. You practically get like a power supply free on this. And I gotta say, it is really interesting that Corsair is coming out with their new power cables. How about that? I think it was $25 for it, but it's supposed to give you more equal distribution when it comes to your GPUs. That's an awesome deal. These are brand new. So if you're looking for a RM1000, which most people are, 3500X PC case, which is awesome case. It's very similar to the 3500X. It's just a bit smaller, and it comes with the Nautilus 360 RS. So it's a decent deal. You get all three for only $322. So AM4 boards are great price, plus AMD's coming out with the 50. Yes. So if anyone is curious, they are coming back out with a anniversary edition. Thank you, Miles, for joining. They are coming out with the anniversary edition. There's nothing different about the architecture. It's exactly the same. There's no change in the base clock or boost clock or in the cores or into the whole cache side of it. It's the same thing. You just get a nice little box that it's the 10th year anniversary of AMD. So if you have an AM4 board, or you just want to collect this processor just to kind of decorate it, you can buy it. It's supposed to be releasing sometime soon, but I'm pretty sure we'll probably see a little bit more of that when it comes to Computex. So another thing I do also want to bring up is that I don't know if you guys heard, but there is going to be a bit more compatibility when it comes to the X870s and also the B850s when it comes to JEDEC RAM. And if you're curious, like what's the difference between JEDEC and what's the difference between DIMM, pretty much when it comes to RAM, it's a bit more expensive. JEDEC's more of the cheaper stuff. It's like your standard RAM that you would see like in your pre-built PCs, like a really cheap pre-built PC, not even like a higher end gaming PC that you would buy from a store, or not even from like cyber power PCs or nothing like that. It's that green stick of RAM, the very typical green stick of RAM that you would see. That's usually JEDEC, but it has compatibility with the new AM5 boards to where it will not affect your gameplay. And the main reason I believe for this, and the reason why it's unaffected, because I remember Asus was talking about this like months ago. They were thinking of different ways of uh, figuring out how they can prevent from people purchasing RAM because it's expensive. When you see RAM, it's expensive. I mean, take a look. We're gonna go take a look at RAM now, in fact, and we can see where it is. Some of the pricing absolutely doesn't make sense when it comes to RAM. And this is Micro Center is very fair in pricing. If you guys are unfamiliar with Micro Center, they do not try to rip you off. They're not like how the old physical retailers used to be, not how Best Buy is, like where they're a bit more pricey than the others. But because, wow, they're starting to run out of RAM now. They only got 3. There's no way they only have 3. But anyway, you don't have to pay $859 for some RAM. That is insane. That is insane. Even the 32 gigabyte kit is now $600. What the hell? So it is certainly expensive right now. I just got to double check this. I'm going to go back here. That is insane. That went up again? Oh my gosh. Let me just go and double check this because I want to make sure that I'm seeing this correctly. I went to the right. What's up, Z-Man? Great to see you, Steve. So 32 gigabytes of CL14 3600 megabytes. Yeah, I mean, keep it. Do not get rid of it. You never know when you need it on a rainy day. Okay, now you see this, guys. I'm clicking the DDR5 RAM here, right? On Amazon, it's even more. It's 5. Really? That's insane. Yeah, this is, I just got to make sure this is the Miami location. Oh, this is shippable. Shippable. Let me go and double check. Let me check Miami's location now. This has me in panic mode right now because that means it just went up. Okay, so this is, whew. Okay, guys, I believe black because it is very expensive. Because just today, out of curiosity, I went to look up how much a Samsung 990 with the heatsink cost, and as you guys know, you got to see that be pretty much installed onto this on this build, and they want way over $200 for it. I thought it was going to be around that $200 price range as we estimate it, because it was like usually $200 per terabyte. And you look on Amazon, it's like there's like barely any listed, and the ones that are, they want $400 or $500 for it. So Amazon is completely insane right now. So Southstar says, you know what's funny? So back when I went to Micro Center to get my 64 gigabyte DDR5 RAM kit, the guy at the counter was like, when did RAM prices, RAM price was the high, and at the time, did 64 gigabytes was over $200. Really? Should you buy one stick of 32 gigabytes of RAM with hopes, hey, if you can manage to do it, you can definitely get it. If you can get it for a great deal here. I bet you that guy now, yes, 100% know that he's probably rolling wherever the hell he is. This is actually the same exact kit that we used. As you guys saw, this was actually a very good kit that you can pick up. You know what's funny, guys? When I installed the Crucial Micron, I knew this was a non-RGB kit, right? So when I installed it, I was like, that's weird. The reflection of the kit, of the Micron, the lettering, because it's glossy, looked like it had RGB. So I was like, huh. I didn't know that it was going to be RGB, like when it came to saying Crucial. That's so strange. And I looked at the other stick of RAM, and I said, it wasn't lighting up. I'm like, oh, I wonder if I didn't, push in the RAM all the way. So I reinstalled it, and it was perfectly fine. It wasn't out of place or anything like that, where not installed properly, and it still didn't light up. And I realized, like, I covered it. I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's just the RGB reflecting off of the RAM kit. And there you go. Sometimes RGBs can cause you more trouble than good. So I bet you, let's see, dude, this has to be because of Google's new Yeah, I think so too. And that's a big problem too. I've heard a lot about this. What is everybody's thoughts about that? That's quite insane, right? Um, so again, we got this kit, $370, not bad. It didn't really jump too much in price. It didn't really go up or down. It's been pretty steady. Now Corsair's Vengeance 32 gigabytes, 370 for CL30, held really fair. And this is one of the things that really throws me off. Because take a look at this. When you go further down to the list here, right? When you check down here, when you check the Corsair Vengeance up on the 64 gigabyte kit, it's as much as $1,000. So it's $1,000 for this kit, right? $1,000, but then you can go up just a little bit further back up, and up on the top you can get CL30 of 6,000 megahertz for 370. So they're charging so much more just to get 64 gigabytes, which is insane. What's up, Tariq? How you feeling? They should teach us how to convince others to invest in AI really when the obvious models are yes, exactly. Black says the prices are going down, but very, very slow. Trust me, RAM upgrades later. Yes, I agree. What's up, /builds? Great to see you. It's been a little bit. But I do agree, bundle deals are definitely great for those who are just trying to get involved into building a PC. But I've noticed I haven't seen too many new builders. I'll get a few rebuilders, like just like Black, how he came in and talked about his build. But I haven't seen any really new builders trying to build a PC just quite yet. I believe this is obviously scaring a lot of people off when they see the pricing when it comes to RAM here. Hi, Chris. I am feeling goodly bad after this stream. I apologize. I certainly apologize. I know it's not the prettiest sight to see when it comes to hardware. Now, if we go into Newegg, I'm pretty sure we can check out Newegg and see what we have available here. Let me see. Okay, so Newegg, they got their own combos. Let's see what they have on their. We can do custom build kits, but usually you don't even have to do this. If you want a specific processor, the good thing about Newegg, you can look up, say, a 270K, and then it's going to show you like they'll have a pre-packaged kit for you. So you don't even have to build your own kit. If you click into it, $328, very good deal for a 270K, especially if you're already on the 1851 platform. Gas out, great to see you. The cost of RAM by itself, you can build an entire build for the price. Yeah, that is true. That is true. You know, it's really hard for me to imagine. I just remember, and for those who were part of that live stream when we all went to Micro Center with Ricky as we went to purchase his PC components, he only spent $400 for the Intel kit, and it was for the Raptor Lake refresh. Remember, guys, it was a 14900K. He also had I think it was the Asus Pro Z790, and he also got a RAM kit, 32 gigabytes of G Skill, all for $400. It's so crazy to think that was possible back then, but now that almost seems like an unrealistic dream at this point. Can't imagine convincing someone that you're not scamming. Yeah, exactly. You know how badly you'll get cursed out by people if you try to sell them RAM for $1,000 for 64 gigabytes. Can you imagine telling yourself a year and a half ago that you're going to spend $1,000 on RAM to get 64 gigabytes? And just remember how obtainable it was. It was so obtainable to the point where I remember G Skill. Soon after, they ended up pushing out, and they were able to get lower latencies. They were able to get to CL28 and then CL26 very quickly. And then all of a sudden, that's like we started. It was so accessible. You could get CL26 really easily. And you could get 6,000 megahertz, 6,400 megahertz, however RAM speed that you wanted with no issue. Now, of course, now that seems like so long ago. It seems like it didn't exist that time. Like it was like an illusion. So, Hidden says it's not just RAM storage. Yes, Storage is terrible. It's ugly. It's worse. The storage is actually worse than the RAM situation right now. It truly is. Forward slash build says Central Computer has $200 off of the A6000 Pro when oh really? That is interesting. So they're trying to bundle it in better ways now. $1,300 for 128 gigabytes is crazy. Yes, absolutely for 56. But I believe the kit. Are you the same kit that you're talking about? Is it the ECC RAM? Tariq says I can survive now because I bought a lot that can last for years, but I just don't like to wait long to get prices back before I want more storage. I want to build more PCs. Agreed. So yes, storage is definitely worth the wait, but definitely bundle only. Yes, do not get more storage. If you have 2 terabytes, learn to be happy with it. Uninstall the games that you say that you're gonna play that you haven't touched in honestly 6 months. Get rid of those games because you can always re-download it. Jamal says 6000 CL26 is like 7200 megahertz CL36, I think. Yeah, yeah, it's oh man. It's just sad. In fact, like the combo kits, like just like Newegg, they have a decent one, which is they have this Intel Ultra 7. You get the Prime motherboard and you get the processor for 459. So not a bad deal, right? So if you choose to get a kit, you can get something like this. Or you can even get a kit like this where it's the Intel Tough motherboard, $418 with the processor. So technically, you're only going to spend about like $90 on a motherboard. This is a decent motherboard too, guys. So if you were to get this combo, this is a great way to start off with. But the problem is the RAM is so expensive. There's somewhat good news. Somewhat good news I can share. Tony says my 4 terabyte Gen 5 has doubled in price from just 3 months ago. I just thought it was expensive then. So Champ says, is that yes? Yes, Champ. It's an excellent deal. Is that something that you're interested in? I can definitely send you the link over if you are. The CPU, so because technically that CPU is a 270K, so you're spending 328 on it alone. The motherboard will cost you at least around 150, 160 at the minimum. So you're paying only 418. So technically you're buying this motherboard for like roughly about like $90. So it's actually a good deal. Well, actually here it is. It's listed right here, 229. How did I miss that? So it's $229 for a motherboard. So if you did end up buying them separate, it's going to cost more. I don't need any hardware. If anything, I get it. I certainly get it. It's just a decent deal. It's just if for those who are trying to build a PC, it's certainly a decent deal. If you have a Micro Center, you can even get some great deals. Now, if you're looking for a bit more of a sweeter deal, they do have this one. This one looks like actually a pretty decent one here. So let's view the details because it actually comes with a RAM kit, but it's only 16 gigabytes. That's the catch. So it's 7700X B650E. It's an okay combo, but CL40 and 16 gigabytes is not the greatest. So how much of a boost would you expect jumping from so if you're going from a 7600X UD to a 9800X, I would say like about 20 to 25% boost. I would say maybe even 30, like it depending on how far you decide to push it. But I would say between realistically around 20 to 25% range. So Tariq says, consider last Google's investments. I think big companies playing cold games might take more than a year, but I don't think it will be more than 2 to 3 years because Trump will end his term by then. Interesting. So I'm thinking about building a new Intel PC build as I just built my AMD build since it lasts 1 to 2 years. So yes. So in gaming, this is actually going to be pretty much overall. This will be overall gaming wise, including gaming too. Hey V, great to see you. Remember, guys, do not spit your gum in Singapore. uh, it will not be for gaming. Okay. It will not be for gaming. Okay. So if it's not for gaming, then for your Intel build, if you're going to be using it for creator build, it's actually really good for that. So Plastics X Plastic Star says my old Kingston Fury M.2 I got about 1 year ago. Now it's the price of it. Yes, it's insane. It's just it would cost probably the price of, you could probably get like a 4 terabyte version of what you would pay now compared to last year. Tariq, do you do any game development? uh yes. What do you mean? So let me go back to this real quick. So I'm going to explain to you guys about K2. Intel's for gaming. Well, Intel you can use for both. Intel's very good. It's flexible on doing both. So, but it's very creator focused, and it's also focused on gaming as well. So you can use it. It's not going to be like workstation level type of usage, but it's great for those who are using it more for, say, like a streaming and content creation level. It will work great. So, okay. So Windows K2 is very interesting here. So if you guys are certainly interested about Windows K2, what this practically is an explanation of what Windows is planning. Now, they already got hit with like a lot of flack as it is. Like when it comes to Windows 11, you immediately think of what? The first thing you think of is you think of all the spam that you automatically get when it comes to Windows. It's just terrible. You get the ads, you get resources pretty much used up that you're not even touching. Windows can be quite nightmarish when it comes to gaming. So Windows K2 is supposed to be the fix. It's supposed to be like almost like the Xbox version of Windows, to where it's going to use less background resources. It's going to have less chances of your RAM being used up by some sort of phantom in the computer. So it's going to be able to be liked similar to Linux. But again, it's very hard for me to see Windows to get to that point. Can you imagine that? So Weenie says, I think AI. So, but I am into, there we go. I am in the photography field as a hobby. Even my daughter likes to work with videos, so gaming isn't everything we think about. That's true. So when it comes to photography, and of course when it comes to videos, now for those that want to use it for that sense, Intel's great for it because a lot of programs such as Adobe are pretty much the architecture that they prefer when it comes to using those type of programs. So Intel's a great option. Of course, you can use AMD on it as well, but Intel is certainly preferred. Same thing when it comes to the CUDA cores, thanks to NVIDIA. That is also a bit more preferred when you use programs such as DaVinci, or just like even say game design, you're using Blender. So Tony says, about 9 months, I guess I got Gen 4 terabytes for man, that is crazy. I mean, just take a look at the past, right? Just do yourself a favor and go back to one of my YouTube videos back on Prime Day, July 2025. Look at those prices. It's almost non-existent at this point. And if you ever notice, one thing I did notice when it comes to RAM, is that it does not really go on sale. Even when there is a sale going on, it's not a massive sale. They might take off like $20, $25 off of it. But then again, RAM was not that expensive in the first place. Originally, you could purchase it for, say, $130 for, $130 for CL28. And you would get $20 off of it. So you get $110 for two for 32 gig. Man, it just sounds like a dream. Like, just imagine the prices going back to that price again. It's just it just seems impossible at this point. It really does. It's almost it's pretty bad as it is. Here, I'm going to show the chart here because there's actually a really good place you can check it. which I'm going to flip over here. And it's PC Parts Pickers. They actually have a really good chart you can look at if you're ever curious about current pricing when it comes to RAM. So see, here you go. You go to memory price trends. And then here, let's go to our standard, which is the 6000 to X16. So from here, you can see where it pretty much stagnated. It's just stagnated. It's just pretty much flat. Um, the you can see that there's drops, like every little dips, but nothing major, and it just really hanging tightly. This is 2 by 32. Let's go back up a little bit. This is right now a little bit over $400, roughly about the $500 range it's reaching, and you can see that it's been really holding tight amongst that. So it's just been pretty much flat throughout the whole time for at least 4 months, and pretty soon going on to 5 months. So when it comes to RAM, the prices, I feel like within the next month will certainly kind of give us an idea of where it's going to go. Now, obviously, if RAM pricing does go up, it's not going to be a good thing. It just means that the standard has become, this chart would say that the standard is now about 400 to $500 for a kit of 32 gigabytes of CL30. So can you just imagine if that is the standard and then it pushes even further? Because if it pushes further, that means that that became the new standard. So it's really not a good thing when that happens. So Hidden Bull says, Windows 8i, oh, it's a cutie cutie course. So going about winning back Windows users the wrong way, to scam your customers chart, pretty much. Windows AI is make sure to updates apply when you're in a super rush. And you know, that's one of the things that they claim that they truly care about. They're like, you know what? Let's listen to our wonderful Windows customers. They don't want AI in our OS, so why not just pretty much remove it? But you know what they're going to do? Like, say they do remove it, right? Say if they actually remove it and they truly make it light and like it's really good. Then within, I guarantee you, it won't last a month before they put something in there to kind of piss us off. Like, oh, meet your new, now they call the gaming side of PC when it comes to, gaming is pretty much Xbox. No more Microsoft gaming, it's going to be called Xbox gaming. We want to stick to that brand. So just imagine if they went to say, like, after a month later, oh, meet this really useful tool that we have. This useful tool that we have. Sorry, guys, this TikTok making me solve these ridiculous puzzles here. So they say, we're going to give you guys a really useful tool. We're going to give you an AI tool. It's going to be called Xbox AI. You type in what you want in the game. For example, if you want to play a game that is based on the mountains, right? You just type in, I want to play a game that's based on the mountains. That's a first-person shooter. And then you type in all those suggestions that you will want in a game, and then Xbox AI will find it. Find the type of game that you're interested in. Now, if Microsoft did something like that, would you be interested in it, or would you feel like, what the hell? I thought you guys said that you're gonna get this BS out of here. So let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna put that on a poll real quick, in fact, because I think that's a great question. Because Microsoft is very good at messing something up. They always do this. Is it okay if Microsoft adds Xbox AI? I'm laughing at this question because I think it sounds ridiculous, right? There you go, guys. So you let me know what you guys think. So Steve says Manjaro Linux here, and I don't plan on going back to hey. Once you go Linux, it's truly hard to go back in a sense. I don't want any future. I think it pisses everybody off at this point. So who asked these giant companies to make AI and forcing them into a world and then making RAM as their main crisis? Deception is what Microsoft is. Absolutely. Maybe, maybe that should be the next name for their upcoming OS, right? Microsoft Deception. I like the sound of it. Microsoft Deception, right? laugh, laugh my ass off. Why would you need AI in an Xbox? Just like what I mentioned. If you were able to type in, "What's up, guys? Welcome everybody coming in. What's up, Lois? Everybody, I'm just streaming on Twitch and YouTube as well. So, the reason why you would use it, for example, if you were to look up a game, right? Say you got bored of the game library, even though I'm sure everybody has games that they have not touched, but you just want to look up this game, right? And this Xbox AI, you type it in. It's supposed to be like an assistant, right? So you just tell it what type of game that you would like to play. So you say, hey, I want to play a game that's based, I don't know, based on in space. You want to play a game that's based on space, but you want it to be adventure, adventure style, kind of like almost like Arkham Asylum style. And you type that into the AI, and then it's going to search throughout the category, the whole game library that Xbox has to see what game that would be most compatible for you. It would be for something like that. And just I hope I'm not giving Microsoft. If you're listening, Microsoft, please do not take that serious. And that was just an example of AI that that could that they would think of, something Microsoft would certainly think of. So I have a PS5 that is in the closet, doesn't even use it enough to keep it hooked up. The crazy thing is, you know what my PlayStation 5 is really good for? Good for waiting for GTA 6. That's it. That's the only reason why I'm keeping the PS5 is because of GTA 6. If it wasn't for that, I would have got rid of it a long time ago. Uh, hey, Xbox. There you go. That's the perfect demand. So I don't have any new Xbox. I have a PlayStation until 3, 4, and 5, and yet she's still playing on PC. I think it would be a good. I think it would be good. I had in mind Copilot for some reason. No games. So everybody that has a Sony PlayStation, I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts about PlayStation? How Sony said that we're going to check every 30 days to check if you have your PlayStation account. Isn't that pretty wild? It's not just that. It's just insane, like how far that they're pushing this whole idea that you have to pay for online. That's why you gotta love PC. You don't have to worry about stupid things like that. Recall in Copilot. At a time, it was Cortana. Remember, guys? Like it was Cortana, and then they changed it over to Copilot. Cortana was such a better name than Copilot. Copilot's just, I don't know who thought of that name. That was just a bad name. Like it just, I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. Like anytime I look at Windows and I see that Copilot's installed on it, I just hate seeing it. And for those who have an LG TV, I'm sure you guys were not happy to see Copilot pop up on your display as well. Copilot chat is the worst product ever. I don't think it has a reason to exist. I don't think so either. I didn't use that or either or Clippy either. I know Clippy was an interesting tool. I still don't use Cortana. I don't have a LG TV. Oh, are you running? Yeah, well, I have the new PC actually right behind me. I haven't set up OBS on it just quite yet, so unfortunately I did not have the chance. It's been a really busy week. I actually spent the whole day yesterday working on that video just so I can get it posted up for you guys on Wednesday, so you guys can check it out. But now I could focus on benchmarks and everything. So if you guys want to see any specific games, let me know on say RTX 5070 Ti, or you want to see on a specific processor, please let me know. We'll run the test. I'm thinking about getting Pragmata as one of the tests. We can definitely stream it and check it out on both the Intel system and also check on the AMD 9950X 3D too. I'm curious. I got to download Lasso on here too, just to see what it does, and a few other tools to see what the processor is actually doing here. So I use Copilot all the time to make my YouTube logos. Oh, really? Oh, wow. So I guess you're putting Copilot to some good use. So tape up the camera. Hey, you guys remember Xbox Connect? That was like one of those things that they came out with and never was used. They came out with that one weird game, that animal game. Just imagine they come out with the new console. And I can see both Sony and I can see Xbox both doing the same thing. That you have to install a camera because a lot of AI software works better if you actually link it to a camera. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the Xbox Connect is such a throwback. That is true. That is true. It's a lot of good memories having it. But it just had that one game. I think it was just that. And what was that other game? It wasn't. I'm thinking of Dance Dance Revolution, but it wasn't that. It was Just Dance. They would have Just Dance, and it would have the animal game on there practically. Did they? Yes. There you go. Yes. Exactly. Yes. That's exactly what it came in use for. Will you do a video for benchmarks on the 9950X3D2 and compare numbers with the... Yes, I certainly will. Surprisingly $200 difference, and yes, it's not that much different. Now remember, they do have two different GPUs. You have one GPU, which in the 270K has a 5070 Ti, and you have one into the 9950X3D2 has a 9070 XT. So it's going to be really interesting to compare those two specifically. I wish there was more developers like there was back then, back in the day, that wrote games just for PC. Yes, some of the games that I think about. I know some of you may not be familiar with it. Is I always loved this game, and for guys that certainly played these games back then, could certainly relate. And the games such as Black and White 2. I'm not talking about Pokemon Black and White. I'm talking about there was a game called Black and White 2. It was really good. It was like you played as like pretty much like a god, and then you would decide whether to do good things or bad things when it came to to making the decisions. Yes, right. You remember that game, Black? Yeah, it was an amazing game. Like in fact, you know what? Let's look it up real quick. If you guys, do you think that there's an advantage running an AMD CPU? Yeah, I'm getting old too, bro. AMD GPU in the same machine, like over AMD CPU and NVIDIA, like some technology optimization. I'm hoping so. Now when it comes to optimization, there is. It just depends on what you want to use it for. Now, there's going to be certain advantages I can say, like when it comes to AMD side, especially because the blended benchmarks I can say were quite impressive off of the 9950X3D2. So if you're more into game design, it would be great for something like that. The numbers were really impressive. Um, they did that so you. Yes, I can see that. I don't know. I don't have an LG, but I don't watch TV anyway. It came up with your what it did, it came up with your other applications. It came up with your other apps such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, and then you would see Copilot all of a sudden. People were not happy about that. So, this poll, obviously, people would not respond positive when it comes to seeing AI into a Xbox. So my gaming build is a AMD CPU and GPU. Okay, perfect. So if that's the case, I feel like you're going to have the best of both worlds there. So when it comes to AMD CPU and GPU, you would actually do really good when it comes to ultra wide gaming and even HD gaming. You can even go entry level 4K. So my LG C2 is my monitor, 65 inches. So Tariq says, so is it really worth going with a 9950 X3D2 over a 9800? Okay. Now if you're gaming, if you're just gaming, no, absolutely not. I can say that. Because the thing is, it's a very unique processor. Now, it tends to resolve the parking issues. Depending on, thank you for subscribing, Dragon. I really appreciate it. Um, Now, this tends to be more or so if you're having a problem when it comes to parkour. It can help in that sense. It saves you a headache there. But you can also use Process Lasso to pretty much do the same thing. To park certain cores that you don't use. There was also older software where AMD had where you can actually park your cores as well. That would eliminate it in theory. But I haven't got to quite test gaming just yet. I mostly got to test like CPU tests mostly. I haven't really got into any gaming tests to really see how the PC would react to it. So, but from what I believe, I'm interested to see if there's any type of delay because it has 2 V cache. So there's going to I want to see how it performs when it comes to its instructions. And when it comes to that'll give a indication of how well the 9950 XTRD2 can perform. So uh, a lot of people say 4K isn't worth it. Just stay out of 1440p. I'm telling you, after years, 1080p and 1440p gaming when I was at 4K OLED, it was a massive difference. Absolutely, it's the same change. Don't let people tell you 4K isn't worth it. Just make sure your PC can. Absolutely, you have to have the proper hardware to be able to run it. So, Gas Out says, why spend money and not try to stream or edit? So I asked myself that as a business owner. So, I mean, you can. Again, it's when it comes to it, you have to enjoy it. You have to like when I talk to you guys, I enjoy every minute of it. If you do it if you stream just to advertise pretty much, you're going to learn to hate it. Just like any other job, you have to have passion at what you do. If you truly love it, then yes, it's a good idea. But if you don't truly have like a real passion for it, then you're going to end up learning to hate it at that point. So, but I'm sure LG, yes, I think so too. How many companies is Microsoft in bed with? That's a real question. I think we can. I think we pretty much get a general idea of how that's going to go. It had been installed with updates, and everyone got really mad. And LG made it to where you can remove it. Yes, yeah, that was the thing. It was so annoying because you had to wait for an update to remove it. It did not allow you. It would be blanked out for you to remove Copilot. It was really bad. So I do it for the love of gaming and interaction with like-minded people, not money. Just love. Absolutely, that's the thing. You gotta truly enjoy it. Do it for you do it for your happiness. To people that can certainly relate to what you're interested in. So they all love money. They certainly do. Microsoft, if they, how many people, right? Out of question, curiosity, because it gives you a general idea how a lot of these companies are. I mean, if Microsoft offered you $10 million to do something that you knew that you felt that you didn't agree with, but you said, if you were given this $10 million, it's pretty much like to look the other direction. How many people would actually do it? How many people would actually look the wrong direction? Like, for example, if they figured out a way for your car that you can advertise something on your car for Microsoft for 10 million. I'm pretty sure quite a few people in here would just take the money. 10 million is a lot to turn down, but I would be very impressed for anyone that would turn it down, and I would ask the reason why. So I think that's an easy one to pretty much figure out on that sense. Solar Dragon says, I have a question. I'm getting a pre-built from Best Buy for $1,000. What should I get? A AMD or so? What is your purpose of the PC? Is the question. What is the purpose of this pre-build? So I got mad because I went through a lot of trouble to disable automatic updates, and it's still really. You know what I do? I usually did you end up doing it through command PowerShell, or you went through the command prompt to do it, or did you end up just postponing the updates like for 8 weeks? Because that's like the most you can delay it. My my 65-inch TV was $1,800 US, and I said at the time I would never buy another LG TV, and then they made it possible to remove it. I think they realized that they were going to lose money if they continue to do this. I've been gaming. Oh, that's nothing wrong with it. That's impressive. That is impressive. I wouldn't, but that's what I'm not that type of person to run a company either. What's up, guys? What's up, everybody over there? What's up, Karma? What's up, Ragtag? I wouldn't, but that's why I'm not that type of person to run a company either. Can you imagine how many corrupt people that there would be? I ended up using the PowerShell, okay, and it still did it. Typical Microsoft, man. They figure out a way to just make things worse. So Solar Dragon says, use Blender, Photoshop, and competitive gaming. Absolutely. So I got a legit question for you guys, and the question's going to be actually Really interesting. Now, I'm just curious, how many did you install Windows with a local account? I gotta ask this because I'm sure there's a ton of you that do this. Just out of curiosity, do you install Windows? I should have put Windows 11. Do you install Windows 11 with a local account, specifically 11? Just out of curiosity here. Has everyone installed Windows 11 with a local account, meaning that you did not connect it to the internet, you did not connect it to the Microsoft Windows? Yes. So, oh, really? Did you install the Windows local account? Interesting, interesting. We got a mix of two. I got to ask the reason why for those who installed without a local account. Out of curiosity, for those who chose to go online and log into your whichever account you chose, just out of curiosity. Oh, oh my gosh. You made me laugh to the point where my Weenie got me laughing to the point where my back actually cracked up. That was hilarious. Rufus is to auto add local. Yes, it sucks. Exactly. Because it's easier. Oh, who doesn't love that having their data stolen? Who doesn't love to get bombarded with ads? Who gets excited when they say, what is it? Customize, personalize. That's the word. Personalize your ads to your liking from Microsoft. How many people like that? Personalize your ads to your liking. Mm. And there's a command. I gotta say it's interesting because there is a command. What's up? What's up, user? What's up, kitty? I gotta say there is a command that you can put on when it comes to Windows, and I'm sure I know Hidden knows this for sure. There's and quite a few people I'm sure notice when you hit Shift F10, a command pops up. I'm not going to say the rest because the last person that said this code ended up getting their video pretty much attacked by Microsoft, and they pretty much shut his video down for sharing it. But there is a code you type in this code, and it just installs Microsoft Windows without using the internet. You can just use a local account, and I agree. I agree with Black. I agree it sucks. I think it's a terrible idea to link your online account to Windows. At this point, it's not going to be that far fetched to see that Microsoft decides to end up going to go subscription based. And this is going to end up being my next question too is, would you purchase, if Windows goes subscription based, right? If Windows goes subscription based, would you switch to Linux? Out of curiosity, I'm curious to see how many people would actually switch over if this happened. Does that? I am watching this using my 3.2. Yes, I love Linux. When you hit shutdown, it shuts down. There's nothing holding it back. You gotta love that. For real, sometimes I switch components and remember. So to Linux immediately if they did that. If Windows goes, oh man, it's pretty bad. So if Microsoft is watching this, take notes. Nobody wants subscription based here. I'm using. I run both anyway. Gotcha. That's definitely best to have both worlds. I love having both. If you really, wow, you would go as far as switching the Mac. Wow, that's pretty funny actually. Matter of fact, since I'm switching, should I do it now? That was like a big rumor too. They were thinking of doing subscription based when it came to Windows originally. Macs, I even use Android. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Because I mean, when it comes to Microsoft, I mean, like honestly, I'm gonna look you guys into the face. Here we go. It's funny this popped up. This is how you know your PC is always listening to you, or your devices are always listening. In fact, Amazon admitted that. I think Facebook actually admitted that your devices actually do truly listen to you. Before, when I first heard that, I thought that's complete BS. Your devices don't listen to you, but look, here's Windows. So anyway, who? And now I'm gonna look you guys directly in the face here. Who actually goes and purchases it through a retailer like Micro Center? Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity. So if it was $1 a month, I'm not mad at it. And he said, they were talking. I think Chris typed it. Oh, thank you. uh, so is Mac. Can't imagine subscription for Windows. That's like suicide for Microsoft. Linux has so many variances. Like each Linux camp bashes each other. It's so confusing for common folks. 17 of 21 total systems at my home network are for Linux, Macs, and Windows only. Yeah, because you're stuck using. You have to have TPM on. Never. I didn't think a lot of people did. I mean, let's look on Newegg. Let's see. I know it's gonna pop up here. Watch it pop up here. Windows 11. Windows 11 Pro. Let's just put Windows 11 Pro. See how much it is. Yes, Android is Linux. That is correct. So for those who are trying to purchase it legally through a Newegg, they do have a nice promo code. How generous, right? You get $6 off. You can pay a flat $140 if you want Microsoft Windows Pro. You can actually get the DVD. Oh, that's pretty wild. They actually still have DVD. That is pretty wild to see, actually. I'm surprised they still have $146. Fast Company new article on Starlink complaints is great journalism. I see a lot of ads on other YouTube channels. So exactly. You know how many emails I get from these companies that offered it? I like to call them the gray markets. They offer gray market keys for purchase. But then again, when you purchase them, you don't know where you're putting your payment information at. So I usually refuse service from them. Should I buy DDR5 Corsair Vengeance 5200 megahertz RAM for $109? Hey, that's not that bad. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. So is it Mac OS Linux or Unix? It's pretty much, it's Unix. Mac OS is Unix. Yes. Steve's correct. Please help me make a decision. What type of decision are you trying to ask for? Yeah, free BSD. So I need to learn programming, then I should build my own OS system before I die. If you want to, I think it would be great to get into. Just be careful. Just don't let Microsoft know publicly, because they'll try to take you out. That's like the only thing that's keeping them together at this point. Apple bought some codes from Unix and made it the way they want it, and it's pretty much like Android. Like there's different versions of Android. Of course, Android's like the base system, but then of course you do have other designs like Samsung, and you have other companies that make their versions when it comes to their smartphones. So is buying Windows keys from websites that sells keys illegal? No, not illegal. It's like I said, more gray zone area. So it might be somebody actually. Wasabi, great to see you there, bro. Because I saw some YouTubers advertise it. It's not illegal. It's just that they resell it because they might not be using the key. So that's how a lot of the keys get pretty much leaked out. And then of course you got. I don't want to point any fingers, but you do have certain areas, certain countries that will find keys for you. So is 16 gigabytes of DDR? Oh, 16 gigabytes. Oh, I thought it was 32. 16 gigabytes for DDR5. It's, I guess, decent. It's better than what it was. I just still cringe at that number because 109 should not get you only 16 gigabytes. Man, such a sad state that we live in right now. Watch your video. Oh, awesome. How'd you like it, Wasabi? How'd you like the PC build? Tariq, you don't actually need a lot. Yeah, for OS you don't. Like people can tell you. Just like I think Steve was on Linux. Somebody was on Linux and they were watching through. They're only using like 3 gigabytes of RAM. Awesome build. I hope it. I think a lot of people are certainly worried about that. I love the comments that people comment on there. Like I don't know about the whole controversy with ASRock as it is. I hope it does last. I hope that we can prove a point that ASRock can work well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Then we'll see it. We'll see it fail in real time. 5600 speed Crucial Pro might be even more affordable. Yeah, you know, Crucial Pro is actually like a decent one to go with. If you can't get a decent RAM kit, like you can't get it from Corsair, you can't get it from G-Skill, Crucial's a good decent choice actually. Like you can actually go in here, like if we look up Crucial Pro, right? Crucial Pro 32 gigabytes. And right here you get it for 400. Even here you got 230, but this is for DDR4. Wow, talk about like throwbacks here. But yeah, the typical one you would want to go for is about 400. And they do have different kits. They have CL38 and they have CL32. See, this is where the pricing doesn't make sense. Maybe it's because it was white. So this white kit, right, is $399. And then as soon as you click on the black kit, that's CL32, which has a much better latency, for $385. So let's try CL32 white. It's probably because of the color. So the latency is not that much different, but the price difference is pretty much the same. So Black says, I have a thermal. Oh, really? That's pretty cool that you actually have it. So it said anything less than $10 a gigabyte. So what is the cheapest 32? I'd say the cheapest you can get is Micron's. Micron certainly has the best you can get. Corsair's questionable. G-Skill's been questionable. Maybe Team Group, if you're lucky, Team Group has been like more the budget one you can certainly get. Yeah, exactly. All from a white build. Go to PC Part Picker, BSD, Berkeley Software Distribution. There you go. Crucial states that they will fully support all warranties, so I don't see. It makes you wonder if they're going to actually come back to the gaming side of things. It really does. It makes you really curious there. V color is good. Yeah, V color's that's the other option. You know what, Hidden Bull? That's a great option. You just reminded me. It's like one of those underrated ones that go fly right underneath the radar. But this is also an option for those who are trying to save on a budget. 419 and you got CL30. So this is definitely an option for those who are looking to try to get a bit more latency, or less latency, I should say. Now you can get the RGB version if that's what you want. So Black says Thermal Take is coming out with a new bubblegum pink RAM. Oh, really? That'll be interesting. CL46 Crucial Pro 5600 overclocks to 6000. There you go. A lot of the kits you can overclock the RAM pretty easily. It's not as complicated as it once was. The biggest thing you want to watch for is the F clock, and if you change the F clock, that's what really that's what you can truly manually adjust to take advantage of better speeds that way. So it's bundled. I'm getting the Z790 Ors motherboard and a 16 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, both for 300. Not bad. That's actually really good. That's actually without the processor, I'm assuming. Now, I think I'm only just getting 32 gigabytes for my normal PC. I am now using 64 gigabytes, and to transfer this to 64 gigabytes to productivity. Anything new with RAM? So ground game. So mostly with the RAM, it's been pretty much stagnant. The best pricing, if you are to look for RAM, is going to be between Crucial, going to be V Color another option. Those two will probably be the best budget, and you don't have to spend nearly as much. If anyone can find me a DDR5 32 gigabytes with CL100 for less than 200. CL100? What? Even with CL, that's funny. For that's gonna be impossible, bro. It's like they look at the they look at the data more than the speed. If you ever notice when it comes to pricing, it's about how much RAM storage you actually have, or how much temporary memory you actually have, which is 32 gigabytes, and that's what they end up with. Oh, Ernesto, great to see you there, bro. Great to see you on TikTok. Thank you for joining. um, yes. So, ground game. So that 48 gigabyte 6400 for $475 was still a good deal. Absolutely, absolutely, still a great deal. Um, because if anything, a price is going to end up adjusting pretty soon. I have a really weird indication after May, and maybe into Computex even. The computer is doing nothing, just surfing the net and YouTube. Awesome. And most people won't notice a difference. Yeah, that is most your average person won't truly really notice the difference in speeds. Most people are just going to enjoy their frames when it comes to gaming. Beginning of second, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking towards then. So for anybody that, if you're curious if I'm headed to Computex this year, I really, you know what's funny? I never planned on to going, especially because of everything that's been going on. But I gotta say, in recent days, I've been more and more tempted. And then I got to see the pricing of how much it costs to fly right now. And I said, you know what? There's no way I can go because it's freaking expensive now. Like, it makes me curious. Like, has everybody seen the pricing when it comes to airfare, especially international airfare? It's really crazy. So forward slash says 6400 will crash, 6200 is fine. 6400. The funny thing is, it's been decent. I gotta say, like when it comes on AMD, I think AMD for max is 6400. Now when it comes to it just depends on what you're doing though. So Computex this year. So Kilobyte asked where Computex is this year. It's in Taipei. It's always in Taipei. So it's unfortunately a little bit pricey. Would love to go, but this year it doesn't seem that's going to happen. Um, Again, it's just it's going to be a very interesting year. I gotta say, Computex, and the pricing. If I was gonna go, I should have bought these airline tickets a minute ago, man, because they were nowhere near the prices that there are today. It's insanely expensive. So I used to fly to continue education stuff for work, but they have been paying us 52 cents a mile to drive. Oh, that's hilarious. So they much rather you guys drive and pay you for the mileage than that. Just shows you how expensive it is now. Yes, it's exactly the reason, man. Jet fuel's expensive. That is the 248 gigabyte DDR5 with Ryzen 9950X3D. Oh, yeah. If you're doing that combination, yeah, it's going to be a wonderful combination for you. And Kelly, my car requires a 93 octane from the factory. Let's. Yes. And you're in the wonderful state of California too, so that's going to be very expensive. So expensive. We're going to go back to Zoom Zoom meetings only. Oh man, it's really bad, unfortunately. Hopefully things get better. I honestly wonder how many people are going to be in attendance in Computex this year. I feel really bad. This is like the third time I missed it, and the last 2 years I went to go to Cinetrend to show you guys, but the thing was I never got to go during the Computex time. I would love to, but especially because I know there's going to be some new products we can take a look at, but eh, just the price, it's just nasty. Just to give you an indication of how expensive it is, let me, in fact, you know what? We can look together. How about that? We're going to go on Google and we're going to look at these prices. And just to give you an indication of how expensive it is. Okay. Now, let's say we're flying out from May 26th, and we're going over to about, let me see, that's the week of Computex here, so I fly back on the 8th. And right now it's about 1746, and I would have to take multiple airlines, of course. So it's roughly about $1,800. So that's a large difference compared to what I originally saw the pricing at. So that's how much more expensive it is. Thank you, Kilobyte. Thank you, Ernesto. Ground game, 4-month vacation minimum. Yes, at least. For you have to. That's the only way you can get the cheaper price. Squeeze says 0 fan speed while idle or doing light task would be great. Yes, it would be nice. Oh man. So unplug it. So now, again, the pricing is just crazy, and this is a long flight. So it's $1,800, and that's a basic economy. And then if you go for a full economy refundable, it's $2,680, and you want to go premium economy, $4,300. That's how expensive it is. That's for one person, guys. That's expensive. That's really overpriced. Like bad. All over the West Coast, it's like it costs buku bucks to live where I live in Longview, Washington, and my 450 square foot place is like 18. Oh, really? Insane. I know exactly. At that point, you're like, I might as well go with another PC build now. And you know what? I thought the same exact thing, Ernesto. I thought like I think the fans would much rather see another PC build than a flight out to Taiwan. Sure, we get to see all the cool new tech products, um, but yeah, it makes you think of more along the lines like how expensive it is. Um, are you people really suffering? It is like someone bought a Ferrari then complaining about prices. What? Of course. I think everyone is honestly suffering at this point. I don't get that one. 1660 Ti didn't fit in the case. Oh, really? That sucks. You can buy a 5090 with yeah, you really could. You could really buy a 5090 for that pricing. So Tony says, I'm off next week. I'm going to Vegas. Oh, wait, I live. Hey, that's an advantage, though. That's an advantage to be there, especially during the CES time. Again, time goes by fast. Next thing you know, we're going to be going to CES all over again in just a little time. Let's go over to Micro Center real quick. But yeah, that's just how expensive it is. Let's go. Yes, it is. Ernesto, you are correct. It is 100% a vibe. It seems, but every time I get to go, you haven't been to the strip really that long. So I couldn't afford Vegas either. Oh, real? I mean, someone buying 5090 and 64 gigabytes of RAM. Now, I mean, someone buying a 5090 and 64 gigabyte now and crying and say, "Oh yeah, keep trying on your GPU and RAM. We cried to dream." Oh, I gotcha. I don't care what you drive at $8 a gallon is wild work. Absolutely, it's insane. Eventually, a collab with you and ZTT Tech Zach. Oh yeah, that would be a good time. So yeah, one of these days, we'll figure out a time when we can all do like some sort of meetup. I had to find like the perfect central area for everyone, because I know it seems like the best area would be towards the West Coast because it seems like that's where a lot of you guys are at, is towards the West side. I saw my iPhone for the price of the 17 Pro Max at Curry's PC World. Oh yeah, nice, nice. Those locals don't go there. It gets. Oh yeah, yeah. I would think so. You know, the more of the area I enjoy when it comes to Vegas is Fremont. I think Fremont's a vibe too, like around that area. It's one of those areas where it's not talked about enough, but it's a nice area to go. Where I live, they blame Californians for the high rent prices because, yeah. Well, I mean, that's even here in Miami. It's the same way. They're freaking everywhere, man. They're like, but I don't want to talk bad about Californians because I was gonna. It's just like anywhere they go, the cost will go up. But here for here in South Florida, the biggest problem we have is we have New Yorkers and we have Miami. I mean, we have New Yorkers and we have Californians. It's not even the good parts. It's some cheap Chinese cheap case. Oh, nice, nice. Polar builds. What's up? that the places not talked about are the best places. Yes, yes. I mean, like that's probably the place to meet up, like towards like Fremont, and you don't have to because. As you guys know, like anybody that's been at the strip, it's like a nightmare to get around those streets. I'm not in your region to understand you. Which region are you located at? But I gotta ask, like, out of curiosity, where is most of the chat from? Just out of curiosity here. I feel like most of the chat is on the west side from what I've seen. Yes, but a long time ago. Oklahoma, nice, nice. So you're a bit more closer. Middle East. Oh, that's pretty dope. United. Oh, nice, nice, nice. You're from the Emirates. I hear a lot of good places where corn is plentiful. Yes, south over here. Oh, okay, okay. Nice, nice. So at least we got one person in the south. I know we got. I know we have Iowa or Nebraska. There's a lot of places where I feel like in the U.S. there's a lot of good places like where they have like plenty of corn. So that's really tough to pinpoint. I am too. Colorado, Rocky Mountain High, John Denver. Nice, nice. Ah, interesting to see. Okay, so you're in Georgia. Yes, yes, yes. And Weenie's wonderful experience of driving into these type of areas. Yes, though. I'm sure you have your fair. Just out of curiosity, in Georgia too. I'm sure you've run into your fair share of New Yorkers, right? New Yorkers and Californians. So all are U.S. No, we have European folks in here. They're just it's just late right now. It's a little late for them, unfortunately. You'll see a lot more of the European guys come on Saturdays. That's because usually I'll yeah, there you go, coast to coast with there you go. I like that sound, coast to coast with Chris Mizo. Yeah, we can do something like that. I've been to the Bronx, delivered there. Oh, wondrous. I think you know what? I think you told me about that story, Weenie. That's the one where it was sketchy, right? It was real sketchy when you went. Oh man, there's nothing like it's just very funny how different each state can be. Like when you go through across the U.S., it's like each state is truly its own place. It's like it feels like a whole different country in each state, truly. Mm, that is true, Tariq. It is late for you. There's a lot. Yes, yes, there's a lot of sketchy times. That's the funny thing. It's like you'll immediately know. It kind of feels like you just have this sense like something doesn't feel right here, and you'll see like little indicators, like when you see uh what type of stores that are around. For example, you'll see a liquor store next to a McDonald's, and you're like, maybe I'm not in such a great area. So it's like its own mini country for each state. Arizona is different than the. Oh yeah, absolutely. The West Side's a whole different vibe. I gotta say, from the East Side. Arizona is very interesting. I always thought how You know what I really liked about those areas too, like when it comes to the west side, like how everything is like for us, like if you were to go to the northeast, you have New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Washington DC, like those type of areas you can are pretty much local within each other. And then when you go on the west side, it's like California, Nevada, Arizona, all those places like Utah, they're all like accessible. But it's just of course long drives. 5:35 West Coast time here. Absolutely. Downtown Miami, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, and more. All kinds of fun. I love the areas that you described too. All the areas. Downtown Miami, Chicago, Atlanta. Oh man. I've been to the US only once, only two states, but I have ideas from you guys. Oh, really? What states did you end up visiting in the US? Just out of curiosity. I'm just curious, like, what states you ended up going to. That's actually not bad. 50, 70, 12 gigabytes. And okay, New York City and LA. Okay. Two different two different vibes for sure. New York City's very how do I say? Everything is on the go type of feel. And of course depends where you were in New York City. I'm just assuming did you just go to the main area towards like Manhattan, I would assume. And then LA you're probably towards I'm guessing the you know what the funny thing is like in LA Hollywood's like Hollywood is like supposed to be the better area. Then you have I remember like how the better area is technically like towards like the hills, but then it's just like Hollywood's actually like a little sketchy in some areas. Gas Out says I just made my new monitor split into three. I fell in love. Awesome. Nice, nice. Those are some wonderful features, especially when it comes from. I really want to try out that 5K monitor. Probably some of the worst cities to get. Y- yes, yes. I've never been to New York or LA. Not interested, but been about everywhere else. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Manhattan and LA. So California and New York are all where I went. Okay, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, so but that's still a very accessible though. For me, so for me, Ernesto, as you know, from Miami to get to over to Vegas is a decent 5 to 6 hour flight. So it drives really not too bad. I mean, maybe New Jersey too, but just for a stop, I too. Oh, really? That's interesting. You ended up in Jersey. Don't believe the hype. Both Chicago and Atlanta are amazing. Yeah, and you know, Chicago is actually a decent place. It just depends where you go. Of course, every area, like every other city, there's always the good and the bad. You obviously know not to go in certain areas. So, Oakland also. Ah, interesting. Oakland. I recently got three monitors. I have game on one OBS. Awesome. There you go. And talk about multitasking there. I was with some people, so I didn't build any ideas. So I saw two main cities, no doubt. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, always can visit again. But later, when things are calming down, for me becoming, I think a lot of people have the same goals in life. I think a lot of us want to try to hit that goal where we have plenty full of funds. Sure, here in Phoenix, you want to stay away from South Phoenix. There you go. Atlanta is my area, very fast driving. Yes. It's pretty much the same like down here. It's like all fast driving. I live where you still see people ride horses. Oh, really? That's pretty interesting. You know, there's a lot of interesting places in the US where everything just seems completely different like when it comes to the countryside. Like you still have like areas like where you have like the Amish even live like in Pennsylvania, like the Pennsylvania Dutch and everything. I think that's a very interesting place. So back to topic, which laptops would you recommend either for gaming or okay, so to get back to business guys, so which laptops would I recommend for gaming? Just get a regular like say RTX 5070. I'm not talking about frameworks now. I don't know if you guys saw that. A very expensive laptop. So let's take a look. In fact, we'll go over here, go into laptops, and if I was to pick if you're going to use it, say, like for gaming or something, you want to go over to, let's take a look at all gaming laptops, see what they have featured here. Now, you don't need nothing crazy. Let me see. This is the 275HX with NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti. That is plenty. Honestly, that is plenty. That would work. It's only $2,200. In fact, even the Asus ROG G16 is a great choice and option. You can get it even cheaper for about $18.99. This is all you need. Now, you may see other ones that are a bit more tempting. You might see ones where they're like for example, take a look at this Alienware, right? You see this Alienware laptop, it features a 275HX NVIDIA RTX 5090. But don't be fooled. Reason why I say that is, yes, it's a 5090, but not truly a real 5090. You'll never hit the power an actual 5090 will hit. Sure, you'll get better frames, but it's not going to be a phenomenal difference compared to the frames that you would get on a 5070 Ti. So if you actually sat them next to each other, it wouldn't be that much of a significant difference, especially when it's not plugged in. You won't be able to get that power draw. You're not going to get 600 watts in a laptop. That's very unrealistic. You would truly get maybe at the most, you'll probably get like 130, 140, and even then, you're going to wear down the laptop less than an hour. So even though technology certainly has gotten better, exactly. That's why I like to explain that it's like, yes, you can get say 140 watts out of this laptop. It's going to pretty much fall out here. Chris, here is some data for you have my contact. There you go. So I might not go with the 5070 Ti laptop, but hey, it's a good idea. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good option. Now you can go with the standard 5070. That's fine too. Remember, you're gaming on a laptop. You're not gaming on a desktop PC. Don't be fooled that a 5090 is much better of an improvement over a 5070 on a laptop. The only way you can truly get a better improvement laptop wise is if you get a eGPU. If you get a eGPU, then you can certainly get a better improvement in that sense. So that's the only way you can see, only way you can actually get like a performance upgrade, like a PC. But then again, remember with the eGPU, you're practically going to plug it into an outlet. So you got a laptop and you have a GPU that you're plugging in. So I'm not thinking about high performance on a laptop. Okay, are you thinking, what type of use are you thinking for using the laptop for? Just out of curiosity here. Because I can certainly say uh it just really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for more standard browsing, that Ethernet or Ethernet and Danville, where are those areas? So like med use, medium use. I was gonna say like medical. I was like, you're using it for medical use. So, okay, so you're using it for like medium use, like medium settings, and maybe Manello Park as territory. Oh, okay, okay. Good to know. Forward slash. So for if you're looking for medium use, like what do you mean like by medium use? You mean by like gaming wise, Tariq? Or are you talking about using it like for like some sort of production usage? Because then that would matter in that sense. And maybe Manello. Uh so that it all depends on what you're trying to find on a laptop. And for anyone that's curious about the pricing on RAM, unfortunately, um, it's dropping, but not significantly. What I would certainly, I have to brief over this because I'm surprised we didn't get to this part. I do apologize for those who are curious about storage pricing. Storage pricing is very expensive right now. It's not ideal. If you were to purchase some SSD like this, for example, a King Spec XG 2 TB, it's 289. That's actually a decent deal, which is pretty crazy to say. But compared to like a Samsung 9100 Pro, uh, you're gonna spend $680. What the hell? That just does not make sense. That's a price request. I guess you can request a price. I guess you can send it to this. What? I don't like that at all. That's what you have to worry about is the RAM pricing. There is no CPU shortage, desktop or server, and no PC shortage, no PC DRAM shortage. Just tracking CPU. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just uh, I kind of feel like that too at this point because it's never gotten to the point where it's gotten so low in supply that they ran out. So gaming or any use not looking for high performance. Yeah, so a 5070 would be perfect then. I have your contact. Really? So, for example, if I travel, I'm not thinking about playing 4K on laptops. Both SSDs are spinning Rust or pricey. Uh, how much is a 264 gigabyte Crucials 5600? Uh, Probably. Do they have it? Is the question. Let me just double check here. Crucial. Right here. Is it 13? Yeah, it's roughly about the same. Same. Hasn't really changed at all. It's a little. You bought it a little cheaper. $100 cheaper roughly. So Piranix says I got 2 terabytes of 980 Pro. I haven't opened it yet. Waiting for my parts to upgrade. Water cooling takes a lot of effort. Oh yeah, of course it does. I usually don't recommend water cooling unless you're a true enthusiast. You have to be able to keep up and making sure that your PC remains cool. So Joe Darkness says I bought a 4 terabyte shipping and handling for 4,500 yen, and I sold them for. Hey man, if you're able to do that, that's awesome. So Fam Bam guys, I want to thank everybody that has joined the stream tonight. Saturday is going to be very interesting. I'll definitely have the PC set up a bit more. We're going to run a lot of tests on the 9950 X3D too. And we can take a look at the 270K. I'm just going to have everything set up for it. I do appreciate everyone that has joined the wonderful stream. Make sure, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow if you're on Twitch or if you're on TikTok. And also remember to also subscribe onto YouTube. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you guys for the wonderful chat. Definitely appreciate you all. And we'll thank Joe Darkness for coming in. Tariq, of course, being very active. Mike for coming in with his wonderful contact news, I guess, hidden. We have Weenie, of course, Steve. We have Squeeze. We also had Wasabi here. We had Hidden Bull, of course, as a wonderful feature ground game. And we do have MRX was here. We had all our wonderful guys here from B to H. Awesome. Great to see everybody and hope to see you guys on the flip side. See you guys on Saturday. Remember, I stream on Saturdays at 10 to 12:30. 12 to 12:30. But we'll see you guys on the flip side then. And I appreciate all of you. But real quick to answer Jack on the juice, what's your thoughts on the Mac Mini? Trash. Absolute trash. If for work, it's not anything you think of. It's practically like a big iPhone. So don't even think about it for work, to be honest. But thank you guys, everybody, for coming into the stream, and catch you on Saturday.